here. Welcome back to another stream. So, as you can probably tell, I am full of cold and I am just not feeling too good. But I think I'm on the mend. I think I am slightly on the mend, and it's been one of these really, really weird colds. So, on Wednesday, I woke up and I wasn't feeling too good, and I felt a little bit crap. I felt a little bit under the weather, and then all of Wednesday I didn't feel that good, and then it got later on a Wednesday afternoon, and I was a little bit like, do you know what, like I just don't feel good. And then it got to Thursday, and I actually felt quite a lot better. And I thought, like what's going on? Like I feel kind of all right. And then Friday, I was a little bit worse again. And then sort of as Friday went on, I got worse. And then into Friday night, I was feeling quite bad. And then Saturday came round, and I felt absolutely dreadful. I didn't want to move. I didn't get out of bed all day. I was supposed to go to my nan's, which didn't end up happening. I'm going today, just to clarify. I'm getting picked up in about 40 minutes, somewhere like that. But yeah, so I didn't go yesterday. I didn't feel well enough to get up and then walk to the train station and jump on a train, and like it just felt like too much hard work, and I just genuinely didn't feel up to it. If someone had probably picked me up yesterday, I would have probably have taken the lift yesterday, but just genuinely because I didn't, like on Friday, I thought I would be all right. I didn't realise I was going to feel as bad as I did until it came to Saturday morning. It was obviously a bit too late to arrange a lift, so I had to, try and arrange one for today, because I thought, even if I feel a bit better, it's maybe not a good idea to go out walking in the cold and then go all the way to the station. So, you can tell I'm slightly under the weather, but welcome back to another stream. So I thought what we'd do is we would do a kind of like a 2025 so far, because it's been a little bit of a hectic year so far with like getting hacked and everything, and I just thought it would be really good now I'm back under the ownership of this channel to just basically just give a little brief rundown of what's happening this year, what we've got so far announced gig-wise. And I'm not going to lie to you, this year has started off a lot more quiet than I would have liked. I had a really quiet January with one booking in January, and it was quite early on in January. It was like it was something like the 14th of January or something like that. So it was a little bit early to mid-Jan, and then we've had nothing since then. So it's been like a good kind of like 2, nearly 3 weeks of no gigs. But next weekend we have one in Grimsby, which I'm going to announce in this stream. So it's been a bit of a quiet year. However, when we get into March, that's when things really kind of start to ramp up again, and that's when we kind of start to pick up, and when we start getting a little bit busy again. But in all honesty, for the start of the year, I mean, last year we had a couple of gigs in January, and we had some things in February as well. And this year we've just kind of really been quiet on that score. So hopefully when we do get further into the year, things do start to pick up again. But when we get into March and April, we kind of start to really pick things up. And then there's some gigs for September. We've got one for August. So we've got some bits coming in, but the year is still kind of yet to reveal itself. There's also something for July as well, potentially that I've not, just waiting for the more information on that. Sorry. So I thought it would be like really good to do a little bit of a rundown of everything that's coming up, and just so everybody gets to kind of know where we're going this year, what's kind of happening so far. So like I say, the dates that are like the July and the September and the August, they're yet to be announced, so I can't really say too much about them yet. But all of the other dates, the things that have already been announced, I can obviously fully talk about. And in all fairness, like, The one in August, I could say about it right now if I really wanted to, but I'd just like to wait until there's a flyer, because that kind of works a little bit better for me. And then the other ones, it's just when they get announced, I can obviously start talking about them. But one of them won't be announced for a little while just yet. Well, but two of them will not be announced for a little while just yet, which will be the July and the September one, because they've already got an event on the horizon that's due to take place. So they're obviously focusing on that one before they really shed any information upon the next one. So there we go. So first off, we'll get underway with the gig announcement now. It's nothing major. And when I say nothing major, nothing against the event, but it's just another DJ's birthday. And obviously, good friend of mine, and obviously happy birthday to him. But we're not announcing like a big mega gig. That's what I was saying. But it's going to be a fun night. There's an event being held for this DJ's birthday at the Fusion nightclub in Grimsby, and I've been invited down to play a set and be a part of the lineup and bill. And I'm on at midnight, taking the tracks through until 2:00, B2B with the Macaulay, which is going to be a shed load of fun. I'm quite looking forward to it. And I think we're going to do like a bounce set that's going to go into a like some harder stuff, some like more hard stuff, which is going to be good. Big shout, what you're saying. So yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to start off with the bounce, and then we're going to pitch it up sort of a little bit later on. Now, we've got 2 hours. So I'm thinking like the first hour will be like the bounce hour, and then the second hour is when we'll start pitching it up, and we'll probably go into more like the hardcore and stuff like that, I would imagine. But nevertheless, I am looking forward to it. I can't wait to go there and spin some tunes. It's going to feel good to get back into a nightclub and spin some tunes again. It feels like it's been a while. The last gig was not in a nightclub. It was a fun gig, but we did the Gig Buddies on at the Wrecking Ball. So it was kind of like the total opposite of a nightclub, but it was a music venue. But it was really good to play in there. It was something a little bit different. And sometimes you don't always need like big nightclubs with full steam ahead on smoke machines and disco lights to have a good vibe. Like, we was just in a good kind of like music room, stroke a cafe space, and we just had the house tunes going, and we had some like funky house tunes and some deep house tunes and some other bits, and it just felt really good, and it felt really nice and fitting to be in that place and just have the tunes pumping. So it was really good, but it will be good to obviously get back into the nightclub environment. So it's MLS's Josh Denny's birthday. He's going to be another year older, obviously, and we're celebrating for him. So I'm doing the 2 hour set with the Macaulay, and it's going to be a shed load of fun. So like I said, we're going to start off bounce, probably go to hardcore, and just kind of see how the set goes. I've got some exclusives, some tracks I've been working on that I want to play during the set. Some of them, unfortunately, won't get finished. So I'll have to play like the demo versions on the stick if I want to drop them, just because my computer broke, and I'm not going to lie, it's killing me not being able to go on it, because at first you think like, oh, it's not too bad, just a couple of days without some, then you realise that, oh, actually, I use the computer for a lot more than you think. So, for example, on the 1st of March, I have a trance gig coming up, which we'll talk about soon, because it's kind of the next gig, and it's also at the Fusion nightclub as well. However, I don't quite often play trance, so I don't play it often enough that I have it on my USB stick, but I've got it on the computer. Now, I can't get on the computer to put it onto the stick, so I'm starting to quickly realise that actually I use the computer a lot more than I think. It's just obviously I don't always play a lot of trance sets. The bounce, I've always pretty much got it handy on the USB stick. Same with the hardcore, the house and the clubland. It's kind of already on there to an extent. So that doesn't normally worry me. Like, when I'm going and playing a bounce, I can just stick the stick in and wing it, and I've got plenty of tunes. Whereas a trance, it's all on the computer. So I'm kind of thinking like, whoa, hang on, like what am I going to do here? So literally, we shall have to see what goes down if we can get the new computer. Because I think I'm buying a computer off my friend. If I can get that before the 1st of March, that will be a really, really good thing, because then I can at least try and get the hard drive swapped over. I can at least start sorting the tunes out, the trance tracks, and I can browse the web and get some more and do what I want to do. Obviously before the event takes place, and then I'm all covered for the event, because at the moment now I haven't got a Scooby what I'm going to play, and it's a little bit worrying. And it only came to my attention like literally yesterday that I literally don't have anything to put the trance tunes onto the USB stick in. So that's been a little bit bad, but hopefully we get the computers sorted very soon. So on the 1st of March we have a trance event, and it's a night of trance, and we've got DJ Lange, so the legend Lange, and then we've also got DJ Chucky, and it should be a fun night. Like I say, I do like trance. I've got a lot of love for trance, and there's a lot of trance tracks that I like. It's not a genre that I mix that often, just purely because I don't know, like I like it, but I find it a little bit boring to mix, if I'm going to be completely honest. Like if I play it all the time, because a lot of trance tracks are big tunes, and they're like big 6 minute long tracks, and like it's really like you've just got these real big long tracks before you mix in. Whereas like the bounce, it's a little bit quicker, and you can chop and you can quick mix, and you can do quite a lot of things. Whereas the trance, it's kind of like you've got them real big long mixes, and you wait a long while before your mix point comes. And I just genuinely I like to be doing a lot of things on the decks. I like to be mixing quick. I like to be double dropping and cramming and slamming all the tracks in. So that's going to be a little bit unfortunate. But I'm still looking forward to it, and I can't wait to play my set, because I do, like I say, I love the trance. It's just not something I mix all the time, because there's other genres that I prefer to mix. But like I will literally play anything. Like if somebody books me to play a set, like I will put a set together and play it. Like someone could book me for a drum and bass set. I'd put a set together and play it. Doesn't matter to me. Like I am a multi-genre DJ in that sense, and there isn't a genre that I'd be like, oh no, I'm not gonna do that. Like if somebody said like we want to book you to come and play hip hop instrumentals while this guy raps and things, and do some like hip hop mixing, then like I'd do it. I'd give it a go, because I like to show people that I'm versatile and multi-genred, and I know like I've got a big love for the bounce music and like the hardcore music and stuff, mainly the bounce, and also like the clubland, but like that's not all I am. And I know sometimes it can look a little bit like I'm just a bounce head. Like the next tune that's coming out for me is a bounce track, and the last mix I uploaded was a bounce mix, and I share a lot of people's bounce tracks, if I like them, and I guess I am somewhat a part of the bounce community in that sense, although I never associate myself as part of a scene. So like for me, like I purely do things for the love of the music. That's why I'm there. I'm not, in some sense, what I would class myself as part of the scene. For me, like I'm just a guy who loves that genre of music, and that and that's the same with any genre. Whereas there's people that are like deep in the scene, and and they'll wear it until they die, and they'll have donk tattooed on their arm and stuff like that. Like I'm not that deep into the scene, and then there'll be people that like will defend the genre till their heart's content when somebody from another genre's slagging it off, and then people will be like deep involved in all the drama that goes on with the scenes, whereas that's not me. Me personally, I just can't, honestly, like I just don't care. Like if some DJ in the bounce scene has fallen out with another DJ, or some other DJs, I don't know, like taken somebody else's track and ripped it, and they're having some banter over it, or they're having an argument over it. Like, I don't care personally, because it doesn't affect me, and it doesn't affect me from like, making my next track or doing my next booking. And some people, unfortunately, some people really take it to heart, and some people, like, they look around on Facebook and they see all this negativity, and they see all these people arguing and bantering, and all these people, like, just bringing negativity into the scene, and then they let that get them down. And then, like, they start thinking, like, oh, I'm fed up of the scene, it's just full of drama. And for me personally, I just think, like, well, don't get involved in it. Don't read posts about it. Don't, like, as I say, I don't read posts about it. I'm just literally there to play the music because I like the music. The bounce music, and the scene for me is, I like the bounce. I like that sound that became the donk bass and the scouse bass, and I'm there purely for that. And I'm there purely for my journey. I'm there purely for my ride. And it's the same with any other genre, When I used to play the hardcore a lot more before I, like, started getting back into the bounce, like, people used to say, like, oh, there's always drama in the hardcore scene and blah blah blah. And then, like, I've come to the bounce scene, and it's just the same, and I'd probably go to the trance scene, and and somebody would probably say, oh, it's just drama in the trance scene all the time. I think, in all fairness, there's drama in every scene and every genre of music. Unfortunately, there is people that argue, there's people that do things wrong, and there's people that cause drama, and it's just the way it goes. But I'm on a path myself to do the things I love. And you don't see, bigger DJs getting involved in drama typically. So for me, like, I just do my own thing. So, but yeah, like I said, I will jump on the decks and, like, literally mix anything. I'll start off with house, I'll go up into trance, and then go up into scouse and bounce, and then head to sort of, like, harder stuff, and finish on the hardcore. Like, I can do that. I can go to an event and play a house set. I can go to an event and play a bounce set, a hardcore set. I can do it, and I enjoy doing it. So that's going to be really fun. And then we move on to the 14th of March. And 14th of March sees my return and my first chain reaction of 2025. So if you don't know, last year I played 3 chain reaction events throughout the course of last year. So I played one in January, I played one in May, and then I played one in September, I believe it was. Quite literally, they made me a resident sort of after the second event. So I got to the second event, and they said, did I want to be a resident for their brand? Now, normally I don't really take residencies because, like, again, I'm a big believer in, like, I'm on my own path, and I'm a big believer in, like, like, I do my own game and lane, and I don't want people to look at me as such and think, like, oh, Noble, like, yeah, he's a chain reaction DJ as such, because I like to be versatile and go on to do kind of, like, every kind of, like, like, loads of different events. But when the promoter said, like, he's gonna at least book me 3 times a year, I thought, well, that, for me, that's like 3 confirmed bookings a year. That I can obviously, work for. It's work. Unfortunately, I've, as much as like, music's, like, fun and a hobby for me, I did, to an extent, I did view it, under the impression that, like, it's work, and it is, it's 3 jobs a year, and that's going to get me, a payment that, like, I can't grumble about, and in that sense, I was kind of like, yeah, it's cool, and to an extent, like, I love playing for the event, and I like the promoters, and and I get on with everybody, and I always play a good set, and it's been really good in that sense. Like, I've really enjoyed it in that sense. So, like, for me personally, like, I love it. So I was buzzed in that sense. But as you probably notice, I just don't scream it from the rooftop. It's not something, I don't go online every day sharing a chain reaction post. A new flyer comes out just like it would have done before I was a resident. I give it a share. It gets nearer to the event. This is where I'm playing. I do the announcements on here. I do the aftermaths on here. So nothing really changes. I don't go around wearing a chain reaction t-shirt. I know technically here I'm wearing a Crazy Chaos one. But that was just because I just put it on because it was a clean t-shirt to wear today. But I just carry on as normal, really. Although, I am very grateful and I'm thankful for the opportunity. And I'm buzzed to be a part of the team and to work with them on so many amazing events. It's just I've got so many other events to promote and to push and other things I'm doing that I can't just dedicate myself to promoting that just constantly, if that makes sense. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm back to back with DJ Kleiny, who has become a friend of mine, so it's good to go back to back with him. And I've had a mix with him before, so I kind of think we're going to do quite a good style in that sense. And he wants to play a bounce set. I thought we was going to do a hardcore set. He wants to do a bounce set, so I'm happy with that. Most definitely. And I do think personally, hardcore sets go down better at that event. As opposed to bounce sets, though. I just feel because of the type of lineups they put on, they don't always necessarily make it really bounce friendly. A big part of it is you've got Nat Space Marcus ELL and all the Vibe Tribe, and then you've kind of got all the the reverse bass and the hard trance sets and things go off, and then the hardcore sets, and then the bounce kind of comes in a little bit cheesy to the crowd that they kind of pull in. Whereas there's only really myself and Owen NRG really play the chain reactions that really supply a bounce set. You've got the likes of D-Vibe. He sometimes he's played for one before last year, but apart from that, so for me personally, I do feel the harder sets go down better, but I'm happy to play a bounce set. I'm happy to jump on the decks and give it a go. And we'll see exactly where we go, but there we go. So that's going to be absolutely wicked. And then we move on to the 22nd of March, which I can't say too much about that one yet because it's not been announced yet, but it's going to be announced anytime now, and I'm looking forward to it because it was a shed load of fun last time. So it's somewhere where I got booked last year, and it wasn't too far towards the end of the year. It was November time, I think it was. And it was one of them sort of unexpected little kind of this has come up. Do you want to do it? So I was like, yeah, of course I want to do it. And then it's we're doing another one in March. Do you want to be a part of it? Which I only found out about 3 or 4, I think on last Monday, so nearly a week ago. I found out about it. So it's going to be a shed load of fun again. I'm really looking forward to it. If it's anything like last time, it will be absolutely banging. So I'm looking forward to it. But as soon as it's announced, I'll be making an official announcement myself. And then we move on to April. And April, we have 2 bookings in April. So on the 19th of April, we are heading down to Shrewsbury and we're playing Sentient Ravers. I'm quite looking forward to it because it's going somewhere that I've never been before. And it's also meeting some new DJs that I've not met before, and it's also seeing some people that I've not seen for a while as well. So it's a little bit of a mixture of both, but I'm genuinely looking forward to it. And it's going to be a shed load of fun, hopefully. So hopefully it's going to be really fun. And we have a really, really enjoyable time. And I'm really, really looking forward to it. We're going to play, hopefully, a good set. Again, I want to play exclusives. I want to really start pushing my production this year, and I want to start playing it more in my sets. Just playing a couple of tracks in my sets more, because I'm very good at I'm trying to think what the word is. I can often sit at the computer and work on music. I'm always kind of active in that sense. I'm always sat making something. But then when it comes to when it's set in a nightclub and wanting to drop my own tunes, I seem to have a little bit of a struggle with it where I don't always know. I think sometimes I just get a little bit critical of my own work and think it's not going to sound good. Or think people are going to think what the hell's this track that's coming. But certainly this year I feel like there's been a big change in my production and things have improved, and I'm really looking forward to dropping some of my own stuff. So that's something I'm going to try and do this year. With the bootlegs as well, I do a lot of bootlegs, but I want to make a lot of them now, more with the intent to I'm going to play these in my sets more than I'm going to send this to Excite, and I'll release the odd bootleg, but you don't really get anything out of releasing them. They're fun to do, and they're a good way to kind of improve on your production skills, and they're an all right way to promote yourself to an extent. It's just the only thing is everybody's remixing and bootlegging, so it's really hard to make your track stand out without it becoming just another bootleg. And a lot of people get sick of the bootlegs, but I'm 50-50 on them. I like them, it's why I do them. I also think if people just stopped remixing things, and then everybody started just playing all their original music in sets, then the sets won't go down as well, because people to an extent, they need things to get the if they can recognize a vocal or they recognize a melody, it's kind of that kind of keeps them going, if that makes sense. So they hear say Alice DJ Better Off Alone, they hear that melody and it gets them going, they hear that vocal and it gets them going. Whereas if we didn't have them kind of things in our sets, people wouldn't recognize any of the music, they'd find it boring. And it's not necessarily always the genre that people relate to in terms of how they like the music. It's whether they recognize the track. So it could be Bounce, but Better Off Alone comes in and people know it. It's a trance set, Better Off Alone comes in, people know it. So you need them to an extent. But I do definitely agree that people should make original music as well, because of course we do need new music to come out. And obviously at one time a day, tracks like Better Off Alone was new music that came out. So we do need to find, or someone, to make something that does obviously become the next big tune that everybody rants and raves about, and then in 5 years time people are remixing that. We need that, obviously, of course. But if everybody just attempted to do it, and remixes didn't get made, or remixes weren't played because people moaned that they're sick of them, the sets would get boring, and the dance floors would probably empty because there's nothing that somebody in a set can relate to. So I think that producers, they should remix, but they should make originals as well. So do bootlegs for to play in sets and release the odd remixes, but of course work on original music and do your own original projects by all means. I fully encourage that, and that's something that I definitely want to do more of this year. I've got some things in the pipeline, some big tracks, and not just remixes. I've got some covers as well. Where we're maybe gonna do some covers, and we're gonna spit some of our own lyrics and things, and sing some of our own stuff singed, and things where we're gonna get permission as well. Not just a bootleg that's gonna go to somewhere like Excite. I've got some other and bigger things planned as well. So nothing against Excite. I love releasing with them, and I'm still going to release with them because I like doing that. And it's a cool way, when you've worked on a little bootleg, or you've worked on a little tune, it's a cool way to to put something out there or to push something. So that's going to be really good. So yeah, Anyway, so after we go to Shrewsbury, the following week we are at the Doncaster warehouse for the Fusion Bounce, and I really can't wait for this one. So the Doncaster Warehouse is one of the most legendary rave venues that this country has to offer. It's been open since I think the late 80s, early 90s. It was a big part of like the warehouse rave days, and it was a popular venue throughout the. Oh, okay, and apologies about that. My lift has actually come a little bit earlier than I thought. So I am gonna have to pack this up, unfortunately, because I've not packed my bag yet. So make sure to like, comment, share, and we'll see you soon.